Hello students, welcome back. So in this session, I'm going to walk you through the steps on how you can deploy a ML model and machine learning model on your local host, on your local machine, and access its API endpoint using a web user interface that's written entirely in HTML and JavaScript. So I'm assuming that you know at least a little bit of HTML and JavaScript. You don't have to be expert, but at least be familiar with few concepts about HTML and JavaScript. Okay, so um, let me show you my workflow. This is the workflow. So basically this is the front end. Okay, this is where the user is using his browser and he sends a request to the backend, and the backend request comes at the backend, and it takes a request and it's going to make a prediction, and when it makes a prediction the response goes to the user. So this is your basic workflow. Your machine learning model is over here in the backend, and this is where the user is sitting. He's sending these requests. All right. So first thing, you want to make sure that you have these packages installed: Fast API, this version; NumPy, this version; scikit-learn, this version. So by the way, in my case, I have a virtual environment. So I'm going to activate my virtual environment first. So I'm going to copy and paste this command. In your case, if you're not using virtual environment, you can skip this step. This is only in case if you're using virtual environment. All right. I activate my virtual environment, and as you can see, it has been activated. You can see this little option right here. Okay, then you want to make sure that your packages are installed. So copy this, okay, paste it over here. By the way, the link to this file, to this whole file, is provided in the description below. So you can click on the link, and that will give you access to these instructions to this file. Okay, so I'm actually installing my Fast API, that version, NumPy, and a SciPy, and I mean scikit-learn, and I hit enter. And in my case, I already have installed. So as you can see, it says requirement already satisfied. In your case, if you don't have this thing installed, it's going to take anywhere between 1 to 10 minutes. Okay, assuming you have installed, let me clear the screen. Oops, sorry, clear. All right. So assuming you have installed that, now we're going to train and save a simple machine learning model. So let's look at this code right here. This is a file where I'm actually training and saving a simple machine learning model that's trained on iris dataset. So step one, come over here, and basically I'm just loading my iris dataset. Okay, I'm doing my loading part, and then I come down. I'm creating my x and y. Okay, x and y. From here I pick a model, then I train it, and then I test him with some values. Okay, then right there I'm converting to NumPy array right there. I predict the value, then I try to find the the actual text value of that predicted class name, and then I print my class name right here. And then after that I save my model, and then I print model saved as irismodel.pkl. So let's run this file. The way you run is come over here, click on this run Python file, and wait for it, and that's gonna run this file. And if you give it some time, and there you go. So it predicted class is right there. As you can see, it's predicted as a Setosa, and model saved as irismodel.pkl. So if you come over here, there you go. That's that file, irismodel.pkl. That's saved now. Okay, so this step is done. I created my file, I saved it, and it's working. Step 2. Now we're going to create a web user interface. So in this case, I'm going to create an index.html file, and I'm going to put my HTML plus JavaScript code in there. And this is the file that our web UI that we would actually use. This is our web UI that we would use to access our model endpoint. So coming back to this is the file that's going to be right here, where your user is going to be using to access your backend. All right. So let me show you that file, create an index. So I already created this file, which is this right here. Again, all this code is available in the description down below. Okay, so I have this file, and so this is my HTML code, giving it title right there. Okay, title. Then I'm putting some styles over there, simple basic styles. Okay, and then I'm putting some body over here, my header over here. Okay, this is the iris flower classifier. Then I'm giving some labels: sepal length, sepal width, and petal length, petal width. Okay, these are my labels. So just be aware, like I'm actually giving my sepal length first, then sepal width, then petal length, and petal width. Okay, then on button, I'm creating a button called predict, and then when the user presses the button predict, it's gonna invoke this function. Okay, then this is where my result is gonna go right here inside this container, inside this div class. Sorry, inside this div tag. And then this is my script right here, JavaScript. And this is where the prediction function comes. So basically what it does, it actually going to read the sepal length right here. It's going to read the sepal length. It's going to read the sepal width. It's going to read the petal length and petal width. Okay. And then it's going to send the response to one of the this particular URL. Okay, it's going to send a post request, and then it's going to wait for the response. The response comes over here, and then it's going to get the response, and it's going to print this response inside my ID element result right here. So if you come over here on top, this right here, the result is going to get printed over here. Okay, so this is the basic of that. All right, so this is a simple HTML file. This is done. Now, next step, you want to make sure that you want to then after that you want to create step 2 app.py file. So you want to create this file. So let's go to the step 2.app.py file. This is this file right here. So I'm creating this file. Okay, I'm importing my necessary libraries. I'm loading my model. So this model I'm loading is this one right here, iris model.pickle. That's what I'm loading. Okay, then I'm actually creating my app, fast API app. Okay, and then I'm defining my class over here. So make sure if you look at this class app, this is in the same order that was entered in my index HTML. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. All right. And this is my root. There's a root endpoint. You can access the root endpoint, and this is going to give you a simple message: "Hello, welcome to the Iris classifier API." Okay, and this is where my prediction happens. So your message comes to this API, this particular URL. Okay, uh, /predict, and then it's gonna make a prediction. It's gonna return the predicted value, and this is my web UI. Okay, I'm running my web UI through the same application, fast API, because everything is running on this one computer. So I'm putting everything on one. My application is just gonna create that instance, and it's gonna call the index.html file. Okay, so index my web UI is basically over here, /UI right here. This is my web UI. Okay, so done this. Then, so you create this file. All right, now do not run this file. Okay, we're not going to run this file. We're going to run this file using fast API server. So in the directory where you created step2.app.py file, tap this on the command line. So make sure you are in that directory. So I can see I'm already in that directory. Okay, type this command right here. So copy and paste this. Okay, copy and paste. Actually, let me just clear the screen so you can see a little bit more clear. All right, so copy and paste that command. Okay, unicorn step2 app :app -- reload, hit enter and wait for it, and there you go. So you got this message: application startup complete. That's what you want to see. So once your application startup is complete, now step 5, open on your browser, go to this URL, http 127.001.80,000 UI. That's the one that's going to allow us to communicate with our model. Okay, so go to your browser, come over here and paste it, enter, and there you go. Okay, so this is the page that's going to appear. This page is what is happening now. Basically, I'm trying to this is me right here. Okay, this is the step. I'm actually on the front end right now. Okay, all right. So let's add some values over here. So let's say sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. So let's add some values. And in this case, I'm going to add the value that I used over here right there. So I'm going to say 5.1. Okay. So I'm just going to do copy and paste right here. So come over here, type 5.1, 5.1. The next value is going to be 3.5. Okay. 3.5. So 3.5. All right. Next value, petal length. Petal length was 1.4 and the next value was 0.2. So 1.4, 1.4 and 0.2, 0.2. All right, and when I hit predict, and it predicts Satosa, same answer as it did on the command line. All right, great. So it's working. Okay, let me just come back over here. Let me close this. Okay, thank you.